this is Michael Rasmussen. Time trialling is not really his favourite discipline.
And he's not happy with the sun. There's a major problem here.
You can see what happened here. This is the back wheel. It looks like he pulled his wheel over, Paul. Obviously damage in the crash. Oh, well, what a nightmare.
What a nightmare. That really is bad luck. This man is having a terrible day here, and Lady Luck has obviously deserted him.
Look at this. I can't believe what we're seeing now, because this is Rasmussen. I've never in my life called a time trial like this. This man has now crashed twice, and I think has had 4 bike changes.
It's a complete and utter disaster for the man who leads the King of the Mountains classification.
The time trial was their speciality. Screwing it up was Rasmussen's. It was a tricky course, stage 13, a rolling 54 kilometres starting and finishing in Albi. It was made more tricky by the weather. Bradley Wiggins started in the dry, finished in the wet, and turned in the best early time of 1 hour, 8 minutes and 48 seconds. With the weather worsening after him, it looked as though it might be the best late time too. World Time Trial champion Fabian Cancellara certainly wasn't going to beat it. He rehearsed coming off on a couple of bends, then went for it on a third. Vladimir Gusev misjudged a roundabout and came off too. But Alexander Vinokourov was judging the course and the conditions perfectly.
Now Alexander Vinokourov has gone through the first time check with the fastest time of 23 minutes and 9 seconds. Wow. Now that, I think, is an announcement to everybody in this race. Watch out.
What is that going to do to the favourites who are left to start in this race?
Look at that. Look at that. Second time check, 44 minutes flat for Alexander Vinokourov, a new best time at the second time check. And here he is now, and look at the time gap between him and Wiggins. He's going to go best time here at 38.5 kilometres covered. It's not going to be a slicing off of the time, it's going to be a slaughtering of the time of Bradley Wiggins at 38.5 K.
By the next check, Paul, he'll be looking into the eyes of Jaroslav Popovic. This man is on a mission today. His mission is to get back into the Tour de France so he can try and win it in the Pyrenees. He has really tried every inch of the way. And look at that face. Alexander Vinokourov is back in the Tour de France. 1:06:34.
With conditions clearing up and the roads drying out, Vinokourov's teammate and fellow Kazakh Andrei Koshechkin also came in with a time better than Bradley Wiggins. Despite coming off, another Astana man, Andreas Klöden, was going well.
Klöden's got up and kept the pressure on, and he's racing up to the line. It's going to be tight, but he makes it. He gets in second, so top 3 for Astana.
Well, Michael Rasmussen has in fact got Alejandro Valverde in his sights. This is almost unheard of, and between the 38-kilometre mark and the 49-kilometre mark, he's actually ridden at exactly the same speed as Cadel Evans. He's lost still 1 minute and 36 seconds of his advantage, and he's finishing this time trial off in incredible style.
Well, it just shows you what the yellow jersey does to a man. Sean Kelly said it. He said you can ride time trials or you can't. But when you're racing to win a race, you can ride time trials. And look at this. Nobody, but nobody would have ever laid the bet that Michael Rasmussen would have caught Alejandro Valverde. Never. You'd have got 1,000 to 1. Huge efforts by Evans. He's in his own playground. He's a great time trialist. Tomorrow he's got to prove he can climb in the Pyrenees alongside these big men. He's still heading up, and he's going to get inside Wiggins' time, I think, as he comes up. He's got 24 seconds to do it. This is only the third check at the top. He was third fastest at the check at the bottom, and he's going to go through now in second best time. So he's gone over Wiggins. Look out on the course now. This is a sprint. It's almost like the last kilometre. Valverde will look across. He's seen the maillot jaune. He thought the sun had come out. And Evans now continues to remain a major challenger for Australia as he races up towards the line here. His head bobbing. There's the time he's got to beat for claiming second place. There's nobody behind approaching him at the checkpoints. Hits the line. Second now. 1:7:48. Only concedes a minute 14 to Vinokourov. Evans has been the big gainer today, but this man goes into the Pyrenees in yellow. Michael Rasmussen licking his lips, his tongue comes out. He knows now he's done the ride of his time trial life as he comes up the home straight, and he's not even the last man to finish because he has passed the man who started in front of him. He won't be a high finish that you would expect from a Maillot Jaune like a Miguel Indurain or a Bernard Hinault, but he certainly has grown in everybody's stature today. Rasmussen comes home with a good minute in hand of what it would have cost him, I think, to lose the Maillot Jaune to Cadel Evans. Almost exactly a minute.
So a stunning comeback ride by Alexander Vinokourov. Cadel Evans interrupted an Astana 1-2-3, coming in ahead of Klurden and Koshechkin, with Bradley Wiggins fifth in worse weather than all the late finishers. Alberto Contador turned in a good ride, 2 minutes 18 behind Vinokourov in seventh, and 2 spots ahead of his teammate Levi Leipheimer. 2 places behind him, losing time, but not half as much as some people expected, Michael Rasmussen, 2 minutes 55 behind the winner.
Now I have my motivation, it's back and legs also, and I confidence for me, for my team.
Vino may have had the motivation and the legs, but Michael Rasmussen still had the yellow jersey. Cadel Evans was now second, a very reachable minute behind him with another long time trial to come. Alberto Contador third at 2:31, and Andreas Klurden within striking distance at 2:34. The question was whether Klurden would be riding for himself or his boss, Vinokourov, back from the dead and within 5 minutes 10 of the lead in ninth. The best placed of all Rasmussen's rival, though, was Australia's Cadel Evans.
Wanted to do a good time trial today, and I think for me to do second on this course and at this time of the tour, you know, for me, I was first of the GC riders. I say that to me is a good sign, but the best is yet to come, I think.